Hello and welcome back. Good morning. Corsair DreamLeague Season 9, otherwise known as the Shiva Show. And it's going to be a little bit different today compared to yesterday for multiple reasons. First of all, sickness has struck. Well, yesterday you already saw a little bit of sickness coming through here on the Shiva Show, and unfortunately it actually knocked out one of our team. Pyrian will not be here today. He ate something bad. Apparently it was clam chowder. He could have just eaten here, but no, he wanted to go try out a restaurant. Didn't work out that great. So he'll be out today. And luckily the rest is still powering through colds and coughs and things, but we should be better prepared this time as we also have some better matches. Today is the day where we're going to say goodbye to 2 teams. 2 lower bracket matches, and we're also going to have 2 upper bracket matches. All these teams should be a lot more evenly matched compared to yesterday, which was, of course, basically this seeding, making all that happen. But should be an exciting day. But it wouldn't be exciting if I was here just by myself the whole time. That would not be very great. I mean, I know it's a Shiva show, but it shouldn't be all about me. It should be about the teams and about my guests. But I don't have a guest yet, and I don't have a co-host yet. So I think we need to get a co-host on first, and I know just a person. Hey, Owen.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
I'm good.
Yeah?
Yep.
Sickness hasn't caught you yet?
No, I'm fine. I'm never sick.
Never sick?
No.
Good. Looking forward to today?
Yeah, should be fun.
Yeah? Have a good rest?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm
ready
good.
to step in for Pyrian?
Yeah, no. So I'm the better Englishman anyway, yeah, so it won't be hard. Hello, Ted. I know he's watching now.
He probably is. He probably is indeed. So, what are you looking forward to today?
Well, I'm looking forward to. I think we're going to have a lot of obviously closer series today.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see teams sort of have a bit of a better chance in sort of against sort of closer matchups.
Yeah.
So, for instance, I mean our 2 first teams, Immortals and Empire. I'm excited to see how these guys go ahead against each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday, these 2 had to go up against Secret Newbie, arguably 2 of the, or if not, the two of the best teams here on LAN. So they had a tough time yesterday. But today, both teams definitely got a chance, and we're going to have close series across the board.
I think so too. So, how have you been liking the Shiva show?
It's been all right.
Yeah.
I prefer the OD Pixel show, but I'll let you have this one.
Thank you. You know what could make the Shiva show even better?
What?
More people on the couch. You ready to share that couch?
Sure. There's lots of space here.
Yeah. And I think there's space enough for 2 more even. And we've got our first commentary duo to fill those spots. Hello. Hey.
Shut the...
Cav and Blitz.
Hello.
Still alive, I see.
Yes. We have survived another night together.
Glad to hear it. How are you doing?
Still diseased.
Yeah.
Is
it better than yesterday?
Surviving.
Absolutely not.
Is it better than Pyrian, though?
I had
definitely better than Ted.
I had the same food as him, so probably not.
Well,
Are you saying you also have food poisoning?
Indeed.
No. He's just blatantly lying for sympathy points right now.
No sympathy points here. If there's any sympathy points, it's for the teams that go out first today. Okay? Is that okay? So talk to me, because you guys have been, for a while, weren't casting together for a long time. I think I will blame that on Blitz, rather.
How's that on me?
Because you were
That's
coaching,
definitely
dude.
on you.
No, I thought you were referencing the fact that organizers don't put us together.
Oh, that too, actually.
Yeah.
True.
So talk to me about how it's to be back, as a duo, fully back. Are you at the level where you were? Like, let's say, I think TA6 was your high, right? Of your
peak.
of your commentary duo.
Well,
are you back?
That was when we were most beloved.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
All right. Here's the thing: is that we barely get to cast together for whatever reason, and if that continues, then deuces. But I feel like we just don't ever get the chance to cast together. I don't know why. I tell organizers every time, I'm like, hey, please push together. Then they decide to absolutely do the opposite. Not going to throw any names out there, but they refuse to put us together for whatever reason.
I think the same was
Nothing's better than the Cap Owen cast together. We've never casted together before.
We did what? Yeah.
Like capo and duo. Like, all right.
What game did we do that on? I can't. It was a clowny one.
don't remember.
It was wasn't it the game?
Yeah.
Was it the game with the Sunders with Miracle Terrorblade?
Yes,
No,
it was.
It was.
It was.
It was that series. Yeah.
Because I can remember the rumble in the stadium
Yeah.
every single time. It just kept thundering over and over.
That was great.
But don't you have some say in it yourself? Like, you know, you're a commentator, you're like, sure, I'll work your event, it's great, let's do it.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, they give me money, innit? I'm not going to say, oh, change this. I'll be like, sure. You know, you give me money, I'll cast with, I don't know. I was going to name someone really horrible to cast with, but then I realised it would be really bad.
I think the problem is we
I
need.
don't know. Someone that's really bad at casting. Like, I don't know. I can't. No name. I don't know. I can't even turn this into a joke because even if I say someone as a joke, it's not even funny.
You can only say Slacks. You'd be
You
able
can
to-
say like
Slacks.
Merlini.
Yeah, I would have to. Yeah,
There you go.
I would even cast for Slacks for money. There we go. That's a good one.
I think the problem is we need more panelists in Dota 2.
Yeah.
We need more pros to retire and take over the panel.
We're getting there. You know.
That way we can be more like CS:GO, and our casters can just be casters.
Yeah, and because they have set caster duos, basically.
Yeah.
So is that the goal, you think, for Dota as well? You think that would be a good thing?
I don't know. I mean, I think it depends. I think.
You'd be stuck with Fogged.
Well, exactly. You know, so can't have that. But no, I don't mind casting with a variety of different people. But I definitely see the appeal of having like set duos and.
Yeah.
You know, because you are going to get better and better as a duo. Like, there's no doubt about that. If you do stick together as a duo, you're going to be. There's just going to be so much more synergy than if you're casting with someone that, you know, as Cap said, you know, that you don't normally get to cast with.
And probably like the DreamLeague qualifiers, you guys have probably casted more
That was a lot of
just
games,
that
yeah.
qualifiers than Blitz
Yeah.
and I probably did the whole entire season.
I
Right? You
was-
guys did how many games?
There's
70?
73 games. Fox.
Jeez.
We have done 15, I think, this entire season.
And then when you say
15
entire
series or
season,
15?
15 games.
15 games.
when do you start the season? Was it actually like October?
Yeah,
yeah.
we started
Ooh.
immediately, and we
Yeah,
just
we did
never
the
get
very
to
first
cast
one,
together.
Star Ladder.
And all the games we cast are like 10-minute stomps, so they're super unmemorable.
Tournament organizers, hear
Blitz and I-
their plea, please.
Blitz and I are weirdly cursed. Ever since EG versus eHome, like one of the hypest games in all-time history of Dota 2,
Yep.
we've had some of the most one-sided stomps you could possibly get. We just did a finals together. That finals was probably the most one-sided finals I've ever cast. I've ever seen, maybe.
18-minute game, 19-minute game.
Yeah.
Cool.
Game over.
Very cool. Enjoyed.
You guys.
But you did get a cast a finals with the two of you, so you know you can choose either not cast together
That's true.
That's true.
or do
That's true.
cast together.
And you guys have got a good game today, right? You're casting the third series, or not?
Who's the third
Yes.
series?
Liquid versus Fnatic.
But it's like a...
This should be high.
I hate those series because it's like a lose-lose situation for Fnatic, I feel.
Sure.
Why?
Where
like, if
even
they-
if they win,
If
Yeah,
they lose,
just
it's like
why not?
if they lose, it's like, haha, you lost to Liquid without Miracle. And if they win, it's like, well, congrats, you beat Liquid, without
with the
Miracle.
standard, yeah.
every bit of praise that you give the team is just going to be like people will want to discount it as much as
Yeah,
possible.
it'll be asterisk.
It was the same thing with Pain, and you also can't ignore that fact as well when you're like the commentator and stuff, right? You can't just be like, "Wow, look at this, amazing! Pain's beating Liquid" or something. You're like you can't say that without adding the asterisk yourself, and it just sucks.
Yeah.
you know,
So
for the teams.
we're at the Shiva show, so we got some topics to talk about, you guys. And the first topic that I have for you is actually a very cool one. You see a picture of Taylor Swift? What's the other side? Picture of Taylor Swift. And it's not actually about specifically Taylor Swift, but exactly 1 week ago, there was a little bit of an uproar. Well, it was Drake playing with Ninja, playing Fortnite. And it made big waves, not just in the gaming community, but also... you know, in actually regular news. It was trending on Twitter worldwide. It was crazy. And it got me thinking. You know, entertainment industry, it has like, you know, you got your Drake, you got your Taylor Swift. They can't go outside without being bombarded with paparazzi all the time, which is really not too great of situations to be in. So how are you going to interact with your fans? How are you going to be able to show yourself the way that you normally are and just play games? You know, you're doing it from the comfort of your home. You giving him some unfiltered, just you. I think it's a great thing, and I want to talk about it. About, I don't know, maybe, you know, this was for now a one-off thing, you guys. But what did you think about it? Was it a big thing? Was it a one-time thing? Cap, you're looking a little bit skeptical.
I mean,
over there?
I'm just thinking about Taylor Swift playing Dota 2 with me. I
mean,
love that.
we would
If
all love
you're
that.
watching right now, hit me up.
Maybe she has, you know. Maybe she was that poorly spoken English person typing abuse in your chat.
Dude, she probably. No, Taylor. I could guarantee Taylor Swift is probably some mean rager. You know, she's got some past.
I mean, you know, she changed her image, didn't she? And that was because she started playing Dota. So the old Swift was out.
Snake Swift is in.
I was recently, I had my nails done by a lady that also did famous people.
Oh.
And she said the most snobby people, apart from Leonardo DiCaprio, who was apparently snobby, that was the only snobby famous person that she met. He didn't want to talk to her unless through the manager.
What?
So he didn't want to talk to the masseurs or the people there unless through the manager.
Yeah, but he's Leonardo DiCaprio. He gets away with it, innit?
But Paris
he's got
Hilton
a nice face,
was apparently super nice. Super friendly, super nice, relaxed, chill. But the most, like the richer people were not the snobbiest. Like most of the famous people she met were actually really nice.
Well, Leonardo.
Like Ellen
surely
DeGeneres, Katy Perry.
He must be at the top of the richest out of those people.
Richer than Katy Perry?
Now, wouldn't you say DiCaprio? More than I'd say he's got more than Katy Perry.
No, I think Katy Perry might be more
Okay.
well-known now.
Yeah.
But overall, I don't know. Over the ages.
Well, speaking of celebrities playing like games and stuff, Blitz. I mean, you have some experience with this, right?
Wait 1 sec. I have to cough.
Everyone, hold the show. Hold the show. William needs to cough right now.
Don't worry, we're waiting. I'd be very interested to hear what stories you have about famous people playing Dota specifically with you.
What's that?
Playing Dota specifically.
All right, what up? Nothing bad happened just now. Tag me back in. What I miss?
All right, talking about celebrities playing games. I
Um,
said you have some experience with that.
Oh yeah, so I played a game with Jeremy Lin the other day, and like Jack and them.
Oh yeah.
These guys don't use Discord. It's like they've never heard of it in their entire lives. It's the craziest thing. They only talk in game.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, this seems so backwards. Whatever. Him and his friends, they all only play 2 heroes. That's their hero pool.
But they have fun doing it, right?
Yeah, I mean they have a blast. Apparently they play like we added each other and stuff like that, and they play like 10 games a day or something silly.
Oh, that's
Nice.
10
that's a
games
lot.
day
They
and
play-
only 2 heroes.
They only play. I've only ever seen.
Yo, they gotta branch out.
Yeah.
Hey, but
I'm like, Jack, you got to get on that. But then I know that Jack's like the most garbage player I've ever met in my life, so I doubt he's gonna change that at all.
But do you think there's a
Dude, he needs to stop playing with Jeremy immediately. It's gonna kill Jeremy's passion. for
Jack
Dota.
needs to stop playing Dota.
He already made Merlini retire. He
Exit,
needs
yeah.
to stay away from the rest.
Yeah,
of
that guy
you
that
know?
Merlini got mad at in his post, you know, he's like, I've never been. That was the first time. It was Jack. Like, I want to straight up just throw that out there. So everybody, you don't have to speculate.
So, but is there a thing here? Entertainment industry, gaming industry coming together, moving forward. Obviously, Drake and Fortnite, we might see that happening again in the future, but will we? And will we see other celebrities branching out like that?
Yeah.
But I mean,
Yeah.
sure. I think the whole thing is it was cool, but I wouldn't say it was necessarily surprising. Like if Drake plays a video game with one of the top streamers,
Yeah.
of course it's going to blow up. Of course you're going to get
Yeah,
like
of course.
600K
But
views.
wouldn't there be managers seeing that as like, hey, wait a second, this is actually really good for PR? Because it was.
I mean,
really
is
good
it?
for
Have you seen what they type in Twitch chat? These kids, I
It
don't know
was
if I want
really
my-
good for PR because on one hand, you already obviously have your fan base there for Drake, so loads of people get to see their idol play a game and being all casual without the spotlight on, without the cameras on, without the paparazzi around. And on the other side, you got Ninja, who has a fan base that might not have been that big of a fan of Drake, but now they are. So you kind of got the overlap.
I mean, I guess.
Best
I
of both.
don't know. I don't think that much was in it for Drake. I mean, maybe because he was like the first to do it big time, but
Sure, I mean
sure,
Drake is an extreme example.
yeah, I don't know. I think it's just a cool thing. It's
Isn't that something that Drake's kind of known for, though?
What?
Is integrating
it?
himself into other like fan bases, like he did with the NBA.
Yeah, he's like the ambassador of like the Raptors or something. But I don't think it's like too surprising, considering if you think about it, like games are much more accessible than they used to be. And so if you're like a star or whatever, you grew up on the same stuff everybody else did, like
Yeah.
console games, because there's so much more like in our culture and stuff.
Yeah.
And some of these people will become famous through whatever, and there will be like this like cross market appeal that will just like simultaneously overlap, especially for like athletes and stuff. I hear, because if you're an athlete, you work out and then you have so much free time.
Yeah.
Might as well spend it doing something like.
And you're
Gaming.
naturally competitive as well.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
games is usually a really good outlet for that.
Alright.
And then also travel as well. Like we know about it. Like you travel, you have so much free time a lot.
What are
of
you gonna
times,
do
and,
when you travel?
You know, like mobile gaming has been sort of a great window for normal people to be able to find sort of that gaming life, and then
Nintendo Switch.
get from there to everything else. So
Yeah, but it is really interesting to see where that is gonna head to. If we're gonna see more of that. Time to skip to our next topic, though. This is a topic that we kind of want to talk about all the time, and we're actually here for. The teams are here for anyway. It's the DPC, and points very important for some teams a little bit more than others. So we can take a look first at the standings, see where we're at right now, and. There's teams that, like I said, the points are not really important. OG, for example, they have points, but they get, there's an asterisk there because they don't actually count. They can earn points, but they won't be able to qualify with the points. You can basically see we have the top 12 there, and then we also added the teams that are not in the top 12. We basically added them in the bottom 4 there. Interesting thing to note is that to qualify for TI at the moment, for the top 9 teams, the amount of points to qualify is 58, 35. So Liquid's almost there. Secret's almost there. And also, for every point that Virtus Pro, for example, takes up, you need less. For every point that OG takes up, you need less. So it's interesting. It's starting to shape up. I know we are halfway. We're actually halfway on the season right now in terms of points. What are we thinking? Is it going to change drastically?
I think that it definitely could change drastically towards the end of the season, especially with I do anticipate that VP will take more points off the table.
Yeah.
And as you start lowering that threshold, and many of these teams are denied the points, then that final little push, who knows, maybe just being able to play second in one major is enough to be able to tip you into the favor of that, top 8.
Yeah.
So I think it is shaping up to be a really interesting first season for the Dota Pro Circuit.
Yeah. Anything to add to that?
I think that it was like it's a little bit weird because it feels like we're so far into the season, but I think like not even 50% of the points have been allotted. I feel as though minors should get they should be a little bit more impactful.
Okay.
And it should be a thing where if you're playing in a major, it should be 16 teams, or 12 and up. Because some of these 8-team majors in the very beginning of the year, it felt a bit weird. Like you get top 4, you get so many points just by essentially winning one best of 3. That felt a bit odd to me, but.
But I think part of the reason they made the minors so low on points is that they didn't want the
top teams there.
top echelon of teams actually showing up to these minors, but they did anyway, right?
So this is the issue, is that you place a lot of the minors in the beginning and most of the majors at the end. But the way that it works is that teams are more motivated. Now VP can chill now. They don't have to play a lot of these minors. But for teams like EG and Navi, it's even more important that they go to these minors and play in them. And so it's kind of like a weird situation. Because ideally, you do want Pain Gaming and a lot of these other teams that you won't see very often to gain some of these points, create some drama in the playoffs and stuff like that.
What do you think about, so one of my ideas was the fact that we did have this plethora of minors, and then majors were kind of weirdly spaced out. Sometimes we had a major back-to-back, right?
Yeah.
And it was what if instead these organizations who were bidding for these, they got themselves a minor and a major, and they used that minor to be able to funnel into their major, right? Kind of similar to CSGO, where if you place in that minor, then that means you get invited to the major in turn.
Yeah.
It also helps you build a storyline from one tournament to the next, right? And it also lets, I think, tournament organizers be able to put a little bit more of their flair, because they're basically encapsulating their ideas of what they want for the tournament to be into 2 different tournaments. So you can have these kind of you can have a minor that's more like the Summit or something, where you're just kind of chilling out on the couch. The players are in a building with you. You get to talk to them about more chill, and then that in turn will hype up into a major where you're going to have a more professional production or something,
Yeah, I think this is a very interesting topic to talk about as well. Unfortunately, we don't have the time to continue talking about that. There's one thing before we hop into the match and before we get on the way that I still want to talk about, and that is coaches, because there's a lot of coaches here, and luckily we had a chance to talk to them yesterday.
My name's Adam. I'm the coach of Fnatic, and we're here at DreamLeague. I think the best part of being a coach is to feel like something I said in the draft 4 has a big impact on the team and why they win. There are times when maybe one sentence I say could have a big impact on the game. That feeling it's just unforgettable.
Dead lane or no Dupa?
I feel like the natural progression for coaching in Dota, at least, it should be you play, and from there you just take the doors that open or whatever.
There's really nothing to complain about being a coach. When you lose as a player, you're in there and you're tasting defeat. It's very real to you. It comes at you full force, and so does winning. But coach gets a filtered version of that.
I think a lot of these players who look for coaches, they want someone who they can trust and who they know will not have a negative impact on the team.
Well, coaching Liquid is not as a hard job as people might make it out to be, because we have such great players. So I kind of like study the opponents and summarize what we should watch out for. But when we win, and I feel like I was actively, I changed the course of our team, like how they think about the game, how they play the game, how they draft. Even though I wasn't there actually playing the game, I made a difference, and that makes me very happy.
Coaches in Dota 2, a role that is still being explored. There's a lot of different types of coaches out there, and it's very interesting to see how that kind of develops. And we have coaches that basically take the captaincy during the draft and draft for the team, and basically the chess master and his pawns. We have coaches that focus on the team aspect and on the mental aspect of being in a team. We have coaches that are ex-players and know everything about the Dota and basically get their advice from that angle. All very interesting. I want to hear some quick thoughts about coaches in Dota 2 from you guys before we move forward. Oh, and what do you think? What is the ultimate coach role in Dota 2?
I mean, I have no idea, of course, as I am not a coach myself. I know some coaches, I guess. I know Blitz, of course. I've had the chance to talk to some of the coaches of the teams here. And, I mean, they obviously are a very important role. I think a lot of the times they are these very sort of calm, cool-headed individuals that seem to have sort of this look from outside the game. And I think one thing that's quite interesting that I have heard players say before is they like to have a coach as well that isn't necessarily going to be there agreeing with everything like the captain's calling out. They want to have a coach that's sort of going to challenge the ideas that that them as a 5-man unit have as a team, and is going to be there in the draft. And rather than saying, yeah, that's a great idea, go for it, is going to be ready to come in with something a little bit different. So you have sort of that outsider perspective during the drafts and in condition to how you're going to tackle different games.
And the other side of things, there are some captains who want their coach to help them enforce the captain's vision right onto the rest of the team. So you have that kind of singular focus. I think the one interesting thing for me was that with this season, the change of coaches being able to be there with the draft and actually drafting for the teams. I think Valve has always placed the players at the highest level, right? They do everything they can to be able to make sure that the players are successful and all their hard work does pay off, whether it's monetarily or otherwise, right? And I think that this, in some way, was another way that Valve were trying to ensure that older players transitioning outside of playing still had a valid role within the Dota 2 scene. It no longer was, okay, you're going to be like an analyst or you're going to be a streamer or something. Now you can be a coach with a stronger hold on what your team actually does, and they can actually really learn from you and benefit from you via them actually drafting for the team.
Some quick words, Will. I know you were a coach, and I know there's a lot of different types of coaches. What type of coach were you?
You know, I just show up, chill, collect a paycheck. It was nice.
So basically nothing changed for you.
Yeah, he conned his way in 2 different years,
Yeah, it
2
was
different
sick.
teams. It was great.
It was real good luck.
All right. You guys, again, I would love to keep talking about it, but we're here for some Dota. And for that, you guys need to head yourself over to the casting desk. So I'll have Thomas play you guys out, and while they do that, it is time for us to welcome in our new guest to the Shiva Show. It is Fog. Don't break the door, Fog.
That was a lot harder. That was a lot harder than yesterday, I'll be honest.
There you go, don't slam it.
It was stuck, I swear.
Okay.
It was stuck.
How are you doing today, Fog?
I am actually feeling worse than yesterday, but
Oh dear.
that's okay.
Oh dear.
I'm prepared.
But now you have a couch to sit on. I saw
have
you
the
standing
couch,
behind the
that
door
one.
the whole time.
I was back there for a good 20 minutes. I actually didn't think that it would take that long, but
Neither did we. We're slightly behind schedule, but don't worry, the game will still start on time, which means that we don't have a lot of time to talk about this matchup. It's going to be Immortals versus Empire. We can take first a quick look at the brackets, see where we're left off compared to yesterday. We had the opening matches, and it was all 2-0s, kind of what we were expecting. Today we're going to have elimination matches on the lower bracket, so we're going to start off with Immortals versus Empire, and we're going to end the day with Newbie versus Team Secret. We can look at the schedule in case you're planning your day out around some of these games. All the times that you see on the schedule are all approximate times. We are playing the series back to back, meaning that a series might be faster than we were expecting, and then we're starting earlier on the next series. Or a series might be longer than we were expecting, and then we are going to start later. What series are you looking forward to most, Owen?
I mean, for me, it's a hard decision between Liquid Fnatic and Secret Newbie.
Yeah.
Those two, but I think because of the fact, I mean, for the fun element, I want to see Liquid again, see what they can do with Heat. But in terms of just top Dota, I think I have to be looking forward to Secret Newbie.
Okay.
As that's going to be the game where, as we know, we had in the interview, Puppy, he really wants to get revenge on Newbie, and you can guarantee that Newbie, especially seeing what they were doing yesterday, sure, it was obviously an easier match for Newbie yesterday, but they were very, very strong, and they were not messing around, so that's going to be quite a clash.
yeah, I totally agree. I think the Newbie Secret one for me is definitely the one to look forward to, just because I think Secret, people have been looking on them, and they've been a little bit on like the downward slope, so I think this is the big one for them to prove themselves and actually like show that they're that top team, because they were so dominant in the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the winners, of course, of the series will be top 4 guaranteed, or top 3 even, considering they'll be in the upper bracket finals. But we have to go through the lower bracket first to see which teams will remain after today. We have 8 teams now, but after today there will be 6 teams left. First up, Immortals versus Empire, and Owen, I think you talked to Blitz.
Oh, Blitz
you
did.
didn't talk to.
Oh, Blitz isn't here.
Velo?
He's-
Blitz isn't
I guess
here.
he's
No,
gone out of there.
no, I think we found Blitz with Velo.
There's this Blitz. I'm here with Velo from Team Immortals. How are you today?
I'm good, how are you?
Good. And so yesterday did not go as planned. How do you guys feel about today? What are the adjustments you made?
Yeah, the yesterday games didn't win as well as we expected. I think we had some problems with the drafts, as we discussed. We didn't get the heroes that we wanted, and we didn't expect the bans also on 3 supports that they did. So we discussed yesterday, and I think we'll have better direction today.
I hope today goes better for you guys. Thank you, Velo, for being a part of the interview, and back to you guys.
Yeah, thank you so much, Blitz. And indeed, improving from yesterday. That is, of course, the big thing here, because they did get beat pretty handedly by Newbie yesterday, and I feel like they didn't get the draft they wanted. So this is a better chance for them. Even more evenly matched opponent, Fogged, as well.
Yeah, I think for me personally, I think they were, like you said, heavily outmatched in that last series. I think Empire have definitely shown that they're a bit weaker right now, just based off of yesterday especially. So for me, I think the big thing is getting Fabian a more impactful hero, because he did seem to struggle a bit on that Elder Titan yesterday. So, yeah.
Yeah, and for Empire, I believe Blitz is with Ghostic.
Hello, guys. I'm Blitz, here with Ghostic from Empire.
Hey, guys.
And unfortunately, you guys had quite the rough series against Team Secret. How do you guys feel about today?
Well, we kinda get outclassed in that series. Didn't find our game. Our strategies didn't work well for us in this series, and hopefully gonna do the better today.
Okay. What are you guys gonna change about today?
our playstyle a little bit. I'm not gonna tell you. Sorry.
Okay, that's fine. Well, that's done with us. Thank you, Ghostik, for being on the interview, and back to Future Blitz.
Yeah, thank you. He wants to change his playstyle, but he doesn't want to say what. So maybe we're in for some surprises today. We had some surprises yesterday as well. What do you think they could change? Are we going to see some new heroes?
I don't know. I don't really want to see Empire change it too much, because I think these guys are a good team. They certainly do have their strengths. I know that they sort of lost obviously the game yesterday when they did have sort of some of their stronger heroes. Like FM was on his quap, had a very good time in the lane, didn't win the game. I just want to see them pick stuff like that. I want to see them just get the Queen of Pain for FN, sort of get these strong, reliable carries for Nyx. I wasn't really sold on. They played Nyx on the Wraith King yesterday, didn't they?
Gyro Wraith King.
And yeah, I wasn't really sold on. I think the Wraith King is just such a hard hero to make work. I mean, we've seen Secret, one of the better teams in the world. They've tried it at previous places, and it's had its ups and downs.
Yeah, I think for me it's like not even just draft for Empire, because I felt like yesterday their drafts, especially like the first game, their draft could have worked, but they just completely fell apart. I think like they just need to play more as a team. They just
we have talked about key players. Maybe if we should see Febby do well for Immortals. If you know who you think will do well, and if you think a player did do very well during this game, you can vote for your Hack's MVP. And that is a hashtag and then the player's name as you see them right here. And throughout the match, throughout the game, you can vote. And at the end of the game, we'll see who you thought was the MVP. But we first need to have the teams playing before you can actually choose your MVP, because otherwise you don't know who is the most valuable player because they wouldn't have played. But we do have a draft, so we can find out